The DIVA Jazz Orchestra is coming to Philadelphia. Hard-charging, powerful, talented musicians. And the cool thing about it is they're all women. 15 very talented women bringing their fantastic show to the Perlman Center Saturday, April 27th. And I'm really, really pleased to welcome Sherrie Maricle,
Thank you.
the director and drummer
Yep.
for the DIVA Jazz Orchestra. Welcome to The Breeze.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
When I heard about this, I was absolutely stoked. Of course, a music lover. I work here on the radio, but jazz, swinging jazz, that is just the greatest. So in a male-dominated industry, you're all women, and you've played across the globe.
We have. We've been touring the world for 25 years. Plus, we've been around for 27 years. We formed in June of 1992, and I've been very fortunate. One of the best parts of music, swinging around the world.
Wow. So I guess this is your day job now.
Yeah. It's always been. Everything I wanted to do since I was 11 years old. Just play drums in a big band, and I've managed, knock on wood.
Isn't it nice to live your dream?
Amazing.
Living the dream, living the dream. You can get your tickets now, by the way, at kimmelcenter.org to see the fabulous DIVA Jazz Orchestra on Saturday night, April 27th. Now, I looked at the pic, of course, when preparing for the interview, and there are women in your group of all ages.
All ages, yep. One of the cool things about being a band leader for so long is that you have members that are new members that say, "My mom took me to see you play when I was little." I remember the first time that happened. I was like, "Wait a minute, what happened?" But it's great. It's great. It's really something to have that as a legacy.
Absolutely. I have people that say, my mother listened to you, so I know that
Sure.
feeling. It's nice to be around for a while and
Yeah.
still be viable.
Or people that weren't the band was born before some of its members.
Oh, that's great. So what do you play? Every kind of jazz?
We play really tradition. It's rooted deep in the tradition of the great bands of like Count Basie and Buddy Rich. It's not a dance band, but it's a hard swinging, like straight ahead. You are gonna stomp your leg and clap and snap on 2 and 4, and it swings very, very hard. And it's American songbook standards, shows from movies, from Broadway. A whole bunch of original music that's in that same tradition.
Give me an example of a few songs you play, Sherrie.
I love being here with you. The theme from this great film. I'm just thinking of some of the things we've been playing recently. We just got back from a tour, and "I Want to Live" is a great theme song written by the great Johnny Mandel that we play. A whole bunch of original music from our 25th anniversary project. But it can be a straight ahead swinger to a hard backbeat shuffle to a really cool Brazilian samba.
I like Brazilian music.
Some Afro-Cuban music. All genres and styles that fall under the straight-ahead jazz category. You're going to go out humming tunes and snapping your fingers, I'm telling you.
Oh, that's great. That's how Jersey Boys was. I was singing for the whole weekend. My husband wanted to choke me. I just went home and sang. But that's great. That's when it stays with you like
Classic
that.
tunes.
Do you decide what to play, Sherrie? Do you collaborate on the tunes that you choose?
No, I choose them. I choose the programming. But a lot of my bandmates are composers and arrangers, and they've written a lot of the music. We have about 400 plus pieces of music in our library. And we travel with about 80 of them at any given time. I swap some in and out, but they have contributed quite a bit.
So do you do a lot of rehearsing?
Not so much these days. A lot of the people have been in the band 20 plus years. Believe it or not, it's a lot of longevity. So a core of our library, a lot of people know, and we know and trust each other, and everybody's the highest level of musician. So you can get together and rehearse for a few hours if we're doing some new music, and then hit the stage and make it rock.
Oh, man, it sounds great. Now, you've been around for a while, you said, and so I want to hear about your founder, a man named Stanley Kay, who must have been one hip guy.
He was. Thanks for asking about him. I, love him. I was playing drums at the 75th anniversary of the Schubert Theater in New Haven, Connecticut, and Stanley came in conducting for a great song and dance man named Maurice Hines. Older brother of Gregory Hines. Stanley used to manage Hines and Dad. And DIVA, the band still works with Maurice to this day. That was in 1990, in May of 1990. A couple of years later, we stayed friends. I made a strong point to stay connected to him because he used to manage the Buddy Rich Band, which is one of the most famous jazz drummers, band leaders in history. Anyhow, in 92, Stanley called me and said, "Hey, do you know women that play like you? I want to get back into the band business." He had been working in Broadway. He had been managing the actress Michelle Lee, some other more different aspects of showbiz. And I certainly did know a lot of women that wanted to play jazz for a living. And he was one person that you could take his word and his integrity and his creativity that he wanted just to make a serious band. He said, I don't see women doing this anywhere. So let's do it. And I said, okay, let's do it.
What a forward-thinking guy.
Yeah.
There are a lot of men that would have known that how great you were listening and seeing you play and not have approached you like that and said, let's get a band of women together. That's
Yeah.
a cool guy. When I read about him, I said, must
Super
have been cool. Must
That's
have
a
been
good
cool.
Word for, good word for him. Good word for him. Super cool.
Who is your idol, I suppose? Buddy Rich? I mean, who is your idol drummer? Yeah?
Buddy Rich, and in hindsight, you know, a lot of there are many and multitudes of great women doing so many great things throughout jazz history have been omitted from jazz history, just like all aspects of history. A lot of women and minorities have been left out of their contributions, and now, as much older and than when I was first studying jazz, I've learned of all these great women doing miraculous things in jazz and music. So some of them have become role models for me, not after the fact, but you know, as an older adult. And but I, you know, from drummers, from certainly you mentioned Buddy Rich, big, you know, Philly Joe Jones, very very famous Philadelphia-based drummer, one of my all-time favorite swing drummers. Played a lot with Miles Davis, and this is one of the things that in not in hindsight, but after the fact, I have grown wild respect for Karen Carpenter.
Karen Carpenter.
She was I was going to almost say a swear word, but I won't. But she was a great jazz drummer, and she herself considered herself a drummer who sang. And everyone else, like often in show business, they twisted her around and unfortunately manipulated her. Sadly, you know, to be this thing they wanted her to be. But now a lot of footage has come out of her playing drum solos, and she was great.
I know that about her after seeing a documentary about her and her brother, and then he wanted her to sing, and her voice was just. I think she has one of the most elegant voices I've ever heard too. What a talented girl! What a sad ending for her. But she was a swinging drummer, huh?
Totally. I mean, you know, these stuff that comes out now. I keep reposting it on social media of her playing just everything, like from drum set to timpani to all kinds of percussion instruments, all swinging. Yeah, great.
There's a young fellow here that I told him about. I was talking to you, and he said maybe they need number 16. Maybe they need a triangle player. Would you ever hire a man?
Oh, we do. Yeah.
For what?
Sure.
To play?
Yeah. I mean, gender never surpasses talent. It would be unfair to everybody that plays in the band, but because historically women have been given less opportunities in this genre, and you know, this didn't start out like for me particularly as a wild like feminist issue or like rah we're giving all these women a chance. I think that was a large part of what Stanley's mission was. A little bit, it's almost like, yeah, I want to do it with women because I don't see women doing this kind of music. But mostly, for him, it was about creating a band, an original band with all original music, whether that be original arrangements or compositions. I think it was, yeah, let's do it with women. Not as a secondary thought, but that's not what he focused on. After that, he's like, yes, all right, here's a great band. Let's just talk about the music now. So once that got established, it'd be absurd to have a woman in there who couldn't play. I mean, just like with any band, you're not going to hire someone because they're short or tall or black or white or wear glasses or have blonde hair. You hire them because they can play their instrument.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How did little Sherrie start playing the drums?
Oh, that's such a cute question.
Well, you know, we have neighbors, and I live in a twin house in the city, and this little boy next door, I'm so afraid he's going to take the drums up because he's loud enough as it is. But anyway, how did little Sherrie start to play the drums?
When I was 11, I saw Buddy Rich. That's all I ever wanted to do after that. Buddy Rich and his Killer Force Orchestra.
Did you go to school or anything for music?
I did. Yeah, I wanted to play music in the 4th grade when you could start, and I wanted to play trumpet, and the teachers told me girls couldn't play the trumpet. So I was given a metal clarinet. I went through a few different. I was very unhappy, and then after I saw Buddy Rich, though, I said, I never heard jazz in my life, and this teacher took me in 7th grade, and I got goosebumps. I don't know, you know, it grabs you. I think with any creative art form, it grabs you. You don't select it. If you're like, I think I'll be a jazz musician, that's a great career choice. It's like, no, it's not. So it just kind of grabbed me, and that's all I ever wanted to do.
I think the goosebumps are the key.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you get goosebumps, then, you should.
But just remembering, like, what is that? And it's almost like every cell in your body, like, opens, and you're just connected to everything in the universe. And you're like, what is this? I have to do this.
What a great feeling. Well, it sounds like a great job.
It is.
It sounds like it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, it's high energy, like you said, swinging.
Swinging for a Saturday night in Philadelphia. Thank you to Sherrie Maricle, the band leader and drummer for the DIVA Jazz Orchestra, performing Saturday night at the Perlman Center. That's Saturday, April 27th. Get your tickets at kimmelcenter.org. And I'll see you there, Miss Sherrie.
We're going to swing the roof off.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.